thing.
You know how fast our home Wi-Fi is?
Yeah?
This is basically just as fast.
Oh.
And Verizon's got more fast LTE coverage than all other networks combined.
So it's better?
Yes.
Oh, why didn't you just say that? What is he doing?
Emily's just starting out and on a budget, like a ramen noodle every night budget. She thought Allstate car insurance was out of her reach until she heard about the value plan.
Switch to the Allstate Value Plan and see how affordable better protection can be. Call an Allstate agent now and see how much you could save.
Kim and James are what you might call overly protected, especially behind the wheel. Nothing wrong with that. In fact, Allstate gives them a bonus twice a year for being safe drivers.
Get 2 safe driving bonus checks a year for driving safely. Switch to Allstate today. Call 1-866-236-3202 now.
Kyle and Lucy haven't had a car accident in 10 years. One day they woke up and said, "Why are we paying so much for car insurance?" Truth is, they don't have to.
At Allstate, safe drivers can save 45% or more. Protect your home, too, and save an extra 10%. Call 1-866-236-3202 now.
Let an Allstate agent help you save. Are you in good hands?
Call an Allstate agent now for a quote.
Hi, this is Eric confirming your booking for Tuesday. Now please remember our CNBC policy. We cannot use guests who have a same-day appearance on Fox Business or Bloomberg. And by accepting a booking with CNBC, you acknowledge and accept the terms of this policy? Is that clear? Hello? Sir?
Does CNBC really think they can order CEOs around? Fox Business Network. We know how to talk to business leaders.
You know, beginning to think that Paul Ryan has a martyr complex nearly 2 years after getting ripped apart for simply saying it was time to look at entitlements and actually having the nerve to come up with a plan to do so. He's at it again, proving he's either a glutton for punishment or actually concerned about our country. So the plan that's got him howling, and now Ryan and Republicans, what they should be doing to respond. And here to do just that, Kristen Dorsey, Craig Pruitt, and Francis Newton. Francis, what does he do?
What does he do? You know, is it to be liked or to be respected? I think that when he was making certain promises during the campaign, that kind of went along with if he and Romney won. Now he's in a different environment and he still has a job to do. So we definitely have to look at entitlements, and I think he's just trying to do his job. We don't have all the data yet about why he's making the decisions he's making, but he is stuck with Obama as a president, and so he has to work under Obama's regime, if we will. And so therefore, I think his comments thus far saying that Obama did it first and I have to go along with that, but I still have a job to do, I think it puts him in a very tough place.
You know, I'm looking at what he's proposed here, Kristen, and when push comes to shove, in the aggregate, he wants to shave the growth of Medicare by about 2%, and that's over 10 years.
You know, generally,
but Medicare will be a lot larger and bigger than it is today. This is 2% off the growth in the program. He is not cutting anything. He's just slowing the growth.
He is risk shifting, and we're expecting that his plan will look a lot like it did before. And one of the ways that it achieves the savings of the growth savings is that it shifts the risk onto seniors, and that's something that is unacceptable.
How is it doing that?
Well, Neil, when you give people premium support, as it was called last year, to have them buy insurance in the open market, you subject them to costs that may rise beyond the ability of those premium supports to keep pace. And that's a fundamental change in the way we deliver that program.
But isn't the president playing the same? If you argue that's a shell game, or I think that's just what you're saying, isn't that essentially what the president is doing, using Medicare, in fact, to fund his health care?
No, because President Obama is just simply taking money savings from not overpaying for Medicare Advantage. You well know, Neil, that we spend 14% more for Medicare Advantage than we do for traditional Medicare.
But it seems to be working like a charm, Christian, because we're paying all more for health care right now, and the cost of the law itself is prohibitively higher than it was billed.
Yeah, but let's look at the Medicare Advantage piece that I'm just talking about. Why in the world does it make any fiscal sense, and I'm glad Paul Ryan recognized this, to pay 14% more for the same level of service? That's just a fundamental budgetary change that can be made that's easy.
What do you make of that? I always see that when they talk past each other, they both seem to recognize, that is the administration and Paul Ryan, the need to rein in the growth of Medicare. Then it comes in the eye of the beholder who's really doing the job and who's not. I just see a lot of shifting going around, and I think whether Americans step back from this and say the Ryan shift seems to make more sense, or the president shift seems to make more sense. What say you?
Well, you know, Neil, it's a terrible thing to be in Ryan's shoes right now, or a Republican's shoes right now, because the media is going to attack what he's coming up with. And Organizing for Action, Obama's new group, is going to have massive petitions, rally the seniors, be able to demonize this. It's like throwing meat to sharks. And you're going to see a massive fight. And yet, when you look at the reality, we all recognize we have to do some major changes in entitlement and Medicare reform.
But every time someone does, you know, they're all of a sudden Jack the Ripper. And I guess what I'm asking, Francis, is let's say you could be certainly, you know, like, Christian, look at this, I don't like the Ryan plan. Well, fair game, he raises a number of good issues. But that if someone comes out the gate, Republican or Democrat, with an idea to rein an entitlements growth in, just bring it in a little bit, and he's pilloried for being sort of like, you know, an evil grandma-killing freak, what's going to behoove anyone to come out and do anything?
Leadership is never popular in the onset, historically speaking, and we do have to cut entitlements. We do have to answer to this deficit, and we are not going to continue to see markets at all-time highs if we do not answer this spending issue. So where do we start? Entitlements, of course, and Ryan does have to work within the Obama administration. He's in a very tough spot, and I have never seen him not do something that he can back with numbers, so we all have to wait and see. But
well,
I just think
you
he's in
raised
a
a
tough
very
spot.
good point, and Chris, that's what it comes down to. The Ryan plan, even the first whisperings of it, wasn't backed by Republicans, just like it wasn't last time.
Right.
So I'm wondering that this latest attempt to be brave is greeted by the same cynicism and almost third-rail paranoia last time.
Well, listen, Neil, I agree with you that anyone who poses any kind of change to a system, other folks figure out a way to demagogue it to their advantage. And that's something that speaks of our political dysfunction.
Well, why can't guys like you, Christian, very smart, erudite, good readers, pragmatic types, you know, I don't think you're a hatchet person, that would just say, look, whether we like it or not, Medicare as it's going now cannot be sustained. Now, whether that means that we're going to change it instantly or raise retirement ages instantly right now, no. But we've got to recognize the fact that the way it's going now, the way benefits are being doled out right now, isn't sustainable now. But instead, every slight effort is greeted as, you know, you're giving Grandma Alpo, you're pushing Granny off the cliff. Actually, that looked like Harvey Korman. They were pushing off the cliff, which it wasn't, because Harvey Korman was already dead. But my point is, why do we do this? But we keep doing it.
We keep doing it. It doesn't make sense. Neil, you know I'm a serious person. I want to solve the problem, and I think that you know, there is room for the Ryan perspective and a different perspective to actually meet some suitable compromise. But let's not mistake being brave for necessarily being right. And I think we often just want to assume that since Paul Ryan is being quote-unquote courageous, then that means that it's the right thing to do. And that's where I would disagree.
All right, well, let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater either. I have no idea what that expression means, but you get what I'm saying, because it would be a very old baby. But, guys, we're going to steal you back a little bit later in the show. In the meantime, well, you can't make this stuff up. A global warming hearing today, it was canceled by snow. I want you to meet the weatherman saying the joke is on the climate change alarmists, because, well, he says this whole thing is made up.